Salutations, my dearest friends. My name is Samantha, and today we're going to be talking about some of my favorite novellas and also some novellas that I want to read. Hello, how are you? Welcome back. And you know what is also back? The Novellathon. What a segue. What a segue. A couple months ago, I hosted the Novellathon, which is basically a readathon where we read a bunch of novellas, so anything less than 200 pages. Hosted it with some of my favorite people here on YouTube. Tiffany from Tiff Talks Pages, Avery from Eva's Romance Books, and Rachel from Rachel Reads and Sings. And we are back with another Novellathon. And I'm so excited because literally all I ever want to do is read novellas. I'm a mood reader. Sometimes I get in reading slumps, and there are times when a full-length novel is daunting, and there's nothing like more satisfying than just like finishing a novella in one sitting. I just have so many favorite novella authors. Excited for this readathon. Last time we did a whole week. This one is like a weekend, or kind of longer than a weekend. I think it's like Wednesday to Monday. I know the dates are kind of weird, but it's just the way everyone's schedule worked out. So I will do the quick announcement, but mainly this is going to be a recommendation video. If you guys want to see more recommendations from me when it comes to novellas, I have a whole playlist, a whole novella playlist. Details about the readathon. All the hosts will be listed down below. They're all so lovely. I adore them. And they all have so many videos of different recommendations as well. The readathon is going to start April 26th, 2023, and it's going to end May 1st. 2023. We are planning on doing tons of live shows, so if you want to hop in and join the fun, feel free. This is really a no pressure readathon. You know what? I'm gonna go ahead and list the dates of the reading sprints and the live shows down below so that you can hop on whatever one you have time for. We do have a group book, and I'm so excited for it. So we were talking about like what we wanted to pick for a buddy pick, and if you guys know, I have been obsessed with Marina Vivancos. That has been like my new favorite author of all time. Okay, she's a Kindle Unlimited author. She writes some novellas, some longer novels, but most of her books are just like so sweepingly romantic. They're very emotional as well, and I like to mention that Marina Vivancos in like real life was a therapist, so I feel like when you read her books, there's almost like this cathartic feeling to them. It's a romance, but a lot of it follows like the character's personal development, whether they're learning to love themselves or learning their own sexuality. Like, oh my gosh. Everything about her is perfect, and I feel like she is wildly underrated, okay? I am starting a Marina Vivancos fan club, and I've been like singing to the rooftops to read her, and selfishly, when this readathon came along, I was like, hey, can we pick her as a buddy pick? Because I love her. So really, this is just like me like trying to convince everyone to read her. So our group pick is Crybaby. Oh my god, how embarrassing. What the heck? Look at that! Guys, why did you not tell me I had lipstick on my teeth? No way. No way! I literally just filmed another video. Did I have lipstick on my teeth this whole time? I am not refilling. No, I'm not refilling. It's not happening. Group pick is Crybaby. This is a friends to lovers romance. It's also less than 100 pages, so it's that perfect novella length. It follows Jason and Sasha. Jason is bisexual, and he is coming to terms with like his own sexuality, and he's learning that one of his kinks is that he likes to make people cry, but not like in a degrading way, like having them cry with like overwhelming pleasure, if that makes sense. But he's never really been able to explore that side of him. He's also like secretly in love with his best friend Sasha, and Sasha is gay. He's never really had a boyfriend. Sasha comes from a background where he hadn't had the opportunity to be like open in his sexuality, and he's kind of nervous about like going out and dating for the first time. So he ends up propositioning his best friend Jason and being like, hey, I trust you, you're my best friend, can we have like a friends to benefit situation to feel more comfortable? And that's what they do. They have a friends to benefit situation. They catch some feelings. It is so freaking cute. But this book is also hilarious. Like the banter between our characters is so freaking funny. The novella, I laughed, I cried, I swooned. Piece of this novella I really enjoyed, and I am a sucker for friends to lovers, so this one was amazing, and this is our group pick, so I'm excited for you guys to read it too and the girls to read it, and I really want everyone to read more Marina Vivancos. I've read her entire backlist minus like 2 books, which I'm going to read probably in this readathon, and then I will do a extensive video of every single one of her books because I just feel like she is perfect. She's perfect. All right, really quick, let me tell you guys some of the prompts. We have a little bit of a bingo board situation going on, different prompts to help you pick your TBR. Again, no pressure. You can literally read anything you want to. Some of the prompts are On Kids Unlimited, a book that one of the hosts recommends, a new author, a book with LGBTQ representation, a book with disability representation, a BIPOC book, so that could be with a BIPOC character or written by a BIPOC author, friends to lovers, a pink cover, and less than 100 pages. So if you read the buddy pick, you will pretty much get every one on this board. The buddy pick is On Kindle Limited. It's a host recommendation because it's recommended by me. It could be a new author to you. It is an LGBTQ plus recommendation. One hero is bisexual, the other is gay. It's a friends to lovers trope, and it's a pink cover, and it's less than 100 pages. It literally hits like every prompt. If that's not enough for you, my darlings, I will go ahead and give you some more recommendations. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go through each trope and recommend a novella that I really love and I highly recommend you guys read, and then I'll also talk about one that is on my TBR. First prompt is On Kindle Limited, and honestly most of these are on Kindle Limited, so that's a really easy one to hit, but I'm going to recommend Never Have I Ever Gone Skinny Dipping by Riley Hart. It's one that Tiffany recommended to me and I loved it. Like, I loved it so much. Really fun plot. Our hero is an erotica author, but he writes under a pen name, and in his regular life he is a librarian. He is super shy, and he frequents this coffee shop where he goes to like write his book, and he has a crush on the owner of the coffee shop and the barista. Flirtatious with each other. He always goes like on the same day to like go there and sit and write his book. Owner always remembers like his drink order and saves like his favorite table for him. They're going out on a date and it follows their romance. Our hero is very introverted in this book, and years ago he had a friend that he met online that he was supposed to meet in person, and they were supposed to go skinny dipping together, and they were supposed to like have this like really adventurous moment, and he chickened out at the last minute, and ever since then he's been regretting it. So his like life goal is to be more adventurous and to go skinny dipping. This book like follows him like gaining confidence, but also this really sweet romance. The romance is very sweet. That's on my TBR that will fit this prompt is Only One Coffin. This is a male vampire romance, and Tiffany read this one in our last readathon and she loved it. It was actually on my TBR the last time we did the Novellathon, and I never got around to it. I really want to read this one, and it just looks super cute. This one is a book that has LGBTQ representation, and I read this one in the last Novellathon, and I'm gonna talk about it again. I tried not to be redundant in these videos, but I just like have my favorites, and I really liked this one. This one is called A Thief in the Night by KJ Charles. I listened to this one on Audible. It's like a 3-hour audiobook, and it was so freaking good. It's a male historic romance. It follows Toby, who's a con man. He ends up like picking up guys at the bar and stealing their money. It's kind of how he meets our hero. They have a one-night stand, and he steals like a watch from him, thinking he's never going to see him again. And then a couple months later, he's applying for this position as a footman, Earl, and he sees the hero again. His name is Miles, and he's like really scared that he's going to press charges against him. Miles ends up hiring him to like organize his house. Our hero Miles recently inherited the title because his father passed away. His father was a hoarder, so he used to hoard a lot of items, so he's like trying to go through and organize everything, and he ends up hiring our other hero to help him. It follows a romance. It is super cute. I loved it. One that I would really recommend is Being Hospitable. This is a sapphic romance by Mika James. Heroine Charlie has been in love with her brother's best friend Kiki for years and years. She ends up moving in with Kiki because she gets a program at her school that's really close to her apartment. Kiki has an extra room, so she ends up letting her stay there, and Charlie like takes this as an opportunity to really shoot her shot. Like, she's going around in some sexy lingerie. She's gonna tease her. She's gonna flirt with her. There's a little bit of an age gap. Charlie is Kiki's best friend's younger sister, so she's trying to be respectful of that, but of course they have a romance. This one is so freaking sexy. Okay, so sexy. What I have on my TBR is a book that I got as a recommendation from my best friend Desiree, and it's called Bro and the Beast by Elsie Davis. This is a male werewolf shifter romance, and it's on Kindle Limited. It's 137 pages, which to me I consider anything under 200 a novella, so it's like, you know, hit right at that mark. And I've read a couple books from Elsie Davis before that I've really loved, but they were their full-length novels, so I'm excited to read this one. The cover though, I need to read it. Okay, a book by a BIPOC author I would recommend, Neighborly by Katrina Jackson. This one follows a couple who is engaged and they're moving in together for the very first time. They're renting this sub apartment next to another married couple who has an open relationship. And when the couples meet, the girls have like an instant chemistry and instant attraction to one another, and the guys like fully support it. Okay, they're there for it. They want them to have some fun, and they end up having like this open relationship slash poly romance that really focuses on on like the girls coming together. It is so sexy. I will forever and always recommend Risley Adams. I think all of her books are wonderful. Go Deep by Risley Adams. That's a French lover's romance that is chef's kiss. Surrender by Risley Adams is a second chance romance. Chef's kiss. The one I think I'm going to recommend right now, because I've talked about those two a lot, is Birthday Shot. Heroine has always had a crush on her older brother's best friend. Her brother has like never approved of the relationship, and it's her birthday. She's throwing this huge birthday party and she's about to shoot her shot. She's about to get some birthday sex. Okay, yes she is. So she ends up like propositioning her brother's best friend, and they have a little bit of a steamy night on her birthday. Love. One that I have on my TBR is a monster romance. It's called A Light in the Dark, and this is by Miranda Sapphire. I don't know much about this novella except that it's a Beauty and the Beast retelling, but like the cover, I need to read that. The next one is a book that has some disability rep. The one that I'm going to recommend is Trouble and Strife by Laura Kinsey. This is a sapphic historical romance novella on Kindle Unlimited. And this one, our heroine has chronic pain. She also has like pelvic pain as well. The second book in the Chances Limited series, our hero works for his brother, and they kind of like work in an underground gang, and he is known as the enforcer of the family. He's really strong and big, and he's the enforcer. He's the one you turn to when you need to fight, okay? He's honestly like the softest, sweetest cinnamon roll ever, and he ends up meeting our heroine because she owns a bake shop and he has a little bit of a sweet tooth. Heroine is this curvy, vivacious, independent woman. Love her to pieces. It's a dominant heroine, submissive man. What else do you need? What else do you need? I reached out to my girl Avery for some recommendations, so I have a ton on my TBR because of her, so thank you Avery for all the recommendations. The ones on my TBR is A Baby for the Outcast by Cassie Mintz. I never know how to pronounce her name. I've read almost all of Cassie Mintz's backlist, and I highly recommend all of her books. They're my favorite. They're just so good. This one has chronic pain rep. I also want to read Sweet Talk by Cara Bestone. This I think is an Audible original, which would be really good because then I can listen to the audiobook. And one of our characters has dyslexia in it. Perfect person to go to for this trope when it comes to recommendations, so I highly recommend going on her channel to find even more books to put on your TBR. Okay, so the next prompt is Friends to Lovers, and this is my favorite trope. My favorite trope. Like, I love nothing more than Friends to Lovers except maybe like a poly romance. Anyways, I have a couple to recommend to you, so we'll go through them. Of course, I have to recommend a Marina Vivancos book. Guys, I love her. Like, I don't know what to tell you. I just love her. So the one I want to talk about is Divine River. Out of all the books that I've read from her, I will hands down say this one is my absolute favorite. Book follows Mike, and he grows up in a really small town. He's very introverted. He's really quiet. He keeps to himself until a new neighbor moves in next door to him. That's where Jason comes in, and immediately Jason befriends him. Jason is the epitome of like a sunshine hero. He is energetic, he is so positive, and he immediately befriends Mike, and they have this instant friendship that turns into a romance. Because obviously a sweet friends to lovers romance, but a big portion of it is Mike discovering his sexuality. He finds out that he likes being both masculine and feminine, and he just follows his journey as he learns to love himself while he's falling in love with his best friend, and Jason loves him for like every part of him and is super understanding and just so sweet. Characters are true soulmates. The way they support each other is beautiful. This book made me cry. Like, just reading Mike like learn to love himself. Stop. I'll cry right now. Literally, I'll cry right now. Marina Vivancos loves Friends to Lovers. She has actually quite a few. I know that In This Iron Ground is a Friends to Lovers romance. Rat Park is a Friends to Lovers romance. I'm trying to think what else. Fruit is a Friends to Lovers romance. Eye on Me is a Friends to Lovers romance. She has a lot. She definitely loves that trope for sure. Okay, so those were just some that I have on my TBR. I know this was a little bit of a short video, but it was more of an announcement video. If you're looking for more recommendations, I have just like core authors that I love to go to, like Risley Adams, Jessica Kane, Cassie Mintz, Marina Vivancos, and McLennan. Like, those are my favorite novella authors, so any book from them I'm going to recommend. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Let me know if you're going to be joining the readathon and what you're going to be reading. As always, thank you so much for taking time out of your day to spend time with me. It means the world to me. I hope you guys are all staying happy and healthy, and I will see you in my next video. Bye!